Hello, everybody. It is me. I'm back, and I'm doing something a bit different today. I've got not one, not two, but three replays here, and they're all going to be the same deck on my part. They're going to be a bit shorter. They're just showing off a very specific interaction that I've been enjoying a lot recently with a very, very underrated card, in my opinion. The card in question being Rainbow Neos. Now, I know the first question obviously is like, are you playing Neos? No, Neos is still bad. I am playing it in Zoodiacs, which is I know that's a bit of a shocking statement to make. Basically, this is my go second build of Zoodiacs, as you might have guessed from the kaijus. So no, the idea is just to break their board with like Lightning Storm, kaijus, kaiju Slumber, which is just Dark Hole, and then make either Zeus or Rainbow Neos and run them out of resources that way. Now the obvious question is first off, how are you summoning Rainbow Neos? Usually with Verte Anaconda. Any two monsters can just turn into a Rainbow Neos, and following up, why just not play Dragoon? Now I will admit Dragoon is better. My opponent's playing Virtual World here. I'm just gonna let them do their combo. Yeah, Dragoon is better in most situations. However, there's one very specific interaction I really like with Rainbow Neos, and that's its ability to shuffle in your opponent's graveyard. If you resolve that effect versus Eldritch, you basically win the game on the spot. And other than that, it wipes the board, it wipes back row. It's definitely not as good as Dragoon. And even in my side deck, if I think I'm going first, I'll switch the Rainbow Neos package out for Dragoon. But it's very fun. So yeah, anyways, as I said, first match is up against Virtual World, the deck that only works 60% of the time, and it's still the best deck in the format because VFD is silly. Yeah, they go for the new Pot of Prosperity. I draw unlock it. It doesn't really matter against this deck, but why not, right? Why not? It stops Qinglong from activating. So they're gonna go for normal summoning Nian Nian. I'm gonna butcher all of these, by the way. I apologize in advance. And then use Lao Lao from the hand to bin Shushe. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. and then they're gonna make Shen Shen. None of these cards really super, like, again, I've got 3 replays, so this is gonna be a lot less explained, but yeah, they're gonna make Shen Shen. It's not gonna stick around for that much longer because they're gonna reborn the Lao Lao. Then they're going to normal summon Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I don't know why they did this. I guess they thought they could have made no, they're both tuners. That must have been it. Yeah, so they'll banish Chushe to reduce Shen Shen's level by 3, so they can synchro with it and Nian Nian and make Cloud Castle. When Cloud Castle synchro summon, it can bring back Shen Shen. And there you go. True King of all Calamities. The very fun dragon is here. Yeah. And thankfully, it does stop me for a turn. However, I can still set up a Dryden. I can still activate Kaiju Slumber and just dark hole the entire board. So yeah, they will set Qinglong, I believe that's how you pronounce it. And I will top deck Thoroughblade, which is great. It gives me full combo. I wait. I go to main, and then I wait to be like, hey, are you going to VFD? And then they're like, nah, it's fine. You can go to main. So obviously the only reasonable course of action after that is just to kaiju them. So VFD ends up not mattering. Bit of a misplay from my opponent, honestly. Yeah, so, and then I will slumber the whole board. Why not? Just get as much resources out of my opponent's field as possible. Because with this hand, I will be able to shuffle them away with Rainbow Neos, even hard-drawing Neos. He's a new elemental hero. He's arrived from Neospace, and when he initiates a contact fusion with a Neospatian, his unknown powers are unleashed, except now he's just a Garnet, so... Sorry, buddy. Yeah, so I will Kaiju Slumber, special summon Gamma Seal, the Sea Turtle Kaiju, to my opponent's side of the field, and Thunder King, the Lightning Strike Kaiju, to mine. It's the Kaiju with the lowest attack, the Kaiju with the highest attack. So then I'll just use Thoroughblade, pitch Thoroughblade, draw into Kamungus, the Sticky String Kaiju. It's here. I'm not playing it anymore. I took it out and Dogaran both for Gadarla. 2 copies of Gadarla because it can tribute over the barrier statue, which is very important versus the Lyrilisk Tri-Brigade deck, but this is an earlier replay, so you get to see all 4 of the Kaijus I am running. So I'm just thinking on how I can possibly get both a Zeus and a Rainbow Neos out. And spoilers, I'm going to do it with Chakanine. Then I'll activate Chakanine's effect. Pitch Thoroughblade for another Thoroughblade. Now this Thoroughblade can't be used for material for an XC summon because of Chakanine's effect. Or it also can't activate its effect, which doesn't matter. But it can be used as material for a Link summon, which will come up momentarily. I also like to go into Borbo here, just in case of something funny that somehow makes Gameciel indestructible. But no, I'll walk over it with Thunder King. Then I'll sink in 1600 with Thoroughblade, and direct with Borbo, because it's Borbo. And then I'll go into Hammer Kong, then I'll go into Tiger Mortar, because I'm not going to need to make the train. Then I'll go into Zeus. None of this locks me out of special summoning, by the way. So now I am free to go into Predaplant, Verte Anaconda, activate its effects. I'm not going to pretend this was more relevant than a Dragoon was. This was mostly just flexing. I included it for proof that you can make Zeus and Rainbow Neos on the same board. But no, otherwise Dragoon would have also just been lights out here, because my opponent was in top deck mode. They get maybe 1 activation of something. However, I will get to shuffle their graveyard into their deck, which is not super relevant here with the cards they have. I guess it stops Lao Lao from floating. Like, most of their relevant stuff is banished. But hey. It doesn't matter, since they're not going to be able to beat Zeus off of what they get. Yeah, I do mill Zoodiac Barrage here, which is annoying. It's very unfortunate that sometimes the card you mill will just be really good. Like, that would have been good to have, just as a follow-up to having all these kaijus. My opponent will draw Toto? Tutu? I am so sorry. and my opponent will scoop. So game 2. Now, I've got another trick with this deck. It is a go second deck. So versus a deck that might want to go second, I will side in. Basically, my entire sideboard is just, what do I want to play going first? I've got like Solemns, I've got Dimensional Barrier. I even have the Dragoon package. I'll put that in going first, since Rainbow Neos is kind of useless going first. But no, my opponent likes to go second. I kept it all in because VFD isn't a go second deck. And then I will activate Lancia in response to my opponent's Foolish Burial Goods. And with 0 out to anything, and the inability to make most of their plays, my opponent will scoop. So yeah, Rainbow Neos, mostly just a flex there, but hey, it's shuffled in. Like, the Graveyard Shuffle is actually relevant against a lot of decks. So next replay. This is up against Adamancipators. Still kind of a rogue tier deck, not like the monstrosity it was before. And my opponent has a bit of an unfortunate opening. Two Nibirus, not the rocks you want to see, and a Lancia. All useless going first, so they're going to have to get there off of Seeker and Weeping Idol. They're going to normal Seeker, can execute the top 5 cards of their deck. I believe they take Supplier here? Meanwhile, for my part, I only have Droll and Lock, which doesn't do a whole lot against this deck. Because most of the time you're excavating and specialing, not excavating and adding. They will add a Guardian from the banished pile. I mean, technically from the deck. Like, they'll put them on the deck, then they will add the Guardian, but that's just faster. So I'll fire Droll here. Why not? There's literally no reason not to. Yeah, this hand is interesting. This kind of shows off one of the weaknesses of this deck that I found. I like it a lot. I honestly like it more than Eldledge Zoo. But it can't beat VFD going second, because nothing can really beat VFD going second. And my Z ratios are kind of bad in these replays, so there will be a lot of hands like this, where it's just all the interaction, and no Zoodiacs is like a backbone. Anyways, my opponent will synchro Adamancipator, Risen Raptite, use its effect to get a Doki Doki. so that they can special summon, I believe, Guardian. Yeah, they're gonna send a Guardian for probably another Guardian, just to insulate against future hand traps like Nibiru. Oh no, they go for Analyzer. Okay, never mind. A Guardian does end up on the field. Here, yeah, here it is. They're gonna get it here. So now they have a negation. And yeah, my opponent's hand was just not very good. There wasn't much they could really do. Like I suppose they could have made Hulk. If Adamancer still plays Hulk these days, I don't see any reason why not. Oh no, they do make Hulk. I'm dumb. Sorry. I thought Weeping Idol was a tuner for a second, but it's not. So they'll Hulk, get out Researcher, which they haven't fired yet. Then they will banish to summon Weeping Idol. And instead of going for Researcher here, maybe they did use it, but I don't think so. They just elect to go into Herald of the Arclight and pass turn on a Banish and 2 negates. Yeah, that's a very easy board to break, unfortunately. And phase they will accidentally reveal Rock. And I top deck Lightning Storm, which makes this even easier to break. Now I don't even have to waste Mind Control targeting down one. I could have Mind Controlled one, forced the negation, and Kaiju'd the other, and it would have been totally fine. So yeah, they're thinking they will elect to fire off Lancia. Again, why not? Like, what are you... I guess it turns off Herald, but Herald's going to be a non-issue momentarily, so... Yeah, I'll activate Lightning Storm. They have to respond to it with either Guardian or Herald, which is fine. It accomplishes what I want. If they do or if they don't, so... Yeah, my opponent will actually elect to let that resolve. So, yeah, that is going to be very unfortunate for my opponent here. They don't have any, like, graveyard effects either. So first off, I will Kaiju the Herald of the Arclight. Then I will Mind Control the Rap type, because Rainbow Neos' effect is... It's not just limited to mill the top of your deck. Your opponent shuffles the entire graveyard into the deck. Nope. It can remove just about anything except hands. Yes, but hard drawing Neos Fusion isn't a terrible break. I get to mill Rainbow Dragon and Neos. And, yep, so summon Elemental Hero Rainbow Neos once again. Send one monster you control to the graveyard. Shuffle all monsters your opponent controls into the deck. Send one spell trap card you control to the graveyard. Shuffle all spell and trap cards your opponent controls into the deck. Or send one card from the top of your deck to the graveyard. Shuffle all cards in your opponent's graveyard into the deck. I like to use the first effect. It shuffles my Gamma Seal in, which isn't super relevant, but it does get the Raptide off the field, and it lets me sink in a very, very easy 4,500. Basically telling my opponent, hey, if you don't have anything next turn, that's it. And as we can see here, my opponent has 2 Nibirus, so... I'll set the Cosmic Cyclone too. It will not matter in this matchup, but why not? Psychological Warfare. And then my opponent draws Imperm. So now here's where I get to be a little funny. My opponent will make me go first here, seeing that my deck is built to the teeth to go second, with Rainbow Neos and Kaijus and Lightning Storms. So I put in my going first package. So I've got Crackdown, I've got Red Eyes Black Dragon. Yes, I swapped it out for Dragoon. My opponent's hand is much... Is it better? I don't know with that Emancipator. It's been a little while, and I'm not sure what the deck does anymore. Yeah, so I'll activate Tenki. Get Thoroughblade. I decide to go for Megaclops, which I have in the deck, because I don't think they have anything that can out Megaclops. Which is fine. Like, Dragoon effectively does the same thing, except it can be destroyed in battle, so I think there is a valid reason to go for Megaclops here. If you just, like... It's weighing Dragoon's negation versus Megaclops' better protection. So I'll bring back Ram Ram. Go into Dryden. Attempt to pop Ram Ram. And then my opponent will make the decision for me by imperming the Trident, which just completely stops my path to the train. So I will have to make... I will just have to make Dragoon. Oh no, I have to make Dragoon. How terrible. Yes, surprising my opponent not by summoning Rainbow Neos, but by summoning Dragoon. Yeah, then I'll set Crackdown. And now I've got one negation and another interruption with Crackdown. Yeah, looking at it, my opponent's hand is not very great, actually. Like, it's a lot of rocks, but also a whole bunch of stuff they have to normal summon. Like, they'll normal summon Dragite. They'll normal summon the egg here because they need it to activate Seeker's effect. So yeah, the special Seeker, I'm not going to negate it. I'm saving my negation for exactly Hulk here. Because I have Crackdown. I can target Guardian or whatever. Yeah, like if they summon Koakai Mare Guardian, I can target it with Crackdown, force that negation. Yeah, so they'll summon Supplier because when if a face-up rock monster you control is sent to the graveyard, you can summon it, add a Guardian. They'll just do that. Then they'll go for Seeker, and very unfortunate here. 5 things they can't summon off a Seeker: 3 tuners, a Lightning Storm, and a level 11. So whiffing that, and with no way to avoid walking into like getting their Hulk negated, my opponent will elect to concede. All right, last replay. This one's a bit different. This one's a bit silly. It's a bit bad. Not bad on like bad, but there's a couple of plays that are a little suspect just because you should never be in a position where you have to do them. My opponent is playing Guru Eldritch, so obviously they don't play this game to have fun. They play it to make other people suffer. And this is where Rainbow Neos over Dragoon really shines. And unfortunately for them, Guru is a deck that needs 2 cards to get itself going, and they only drew 1, so they will set everything and pass. I have a bit of an idea that they're probably playing Guru. Because, like, what other deck actually sets monsters these days? So I will elect to tribute over the Guru with Gadarla, and it pays off because it actually was a Guru, not just some random hand trap. But yeah, that stops them from getting access to Hidden City temporarily. Yes, then I'll think for a bit. I'll normal summon Trident. My plan here is really just to make Zeus, and like I'll pitch Ram Ram because then I can go for Verte later if I need to. I've got Barrage in my hand, so I'm not super worried. Yeah, I'll go for Borbo, attack directly, try to force out some level of interaction, which in this case is going to be Conquistador and the follow-up Scarlet Sanguine. So this isn't good. Eldritch is online now. I've got Lancias, so I can delay it a turn. You can't use the graveyard effects of either of these 2 on the turn you use them. So Lancia will set them back, but I do lose Borbo. And then I think for a bit. I will activate Mind Control here. I will Mind Control the Eldritch. I'm basically just trying to decide if I want to Rainbow Neos here or go for Trident. And I think given that like I pretty much just lose if Hidden City resolves, I like to try and go for what do I go for that? Anyways, regardless. No, I think I get greedy. I think I try to have my cake and eat it too and try and get like Rainbow Neos plus Trident. Somehow. No, I remember. I definitely went for Rainbow Neos to try and shuffle their graveyard in. Because that's a lot of stuff I don't want them to have any access to. Although, in hindsight, the lack of quick effect is kind of annoying, but it doesn't matter because I go to proc Trident to pop Conquistador just to get it out of the way before I go to Verte. Shuffle it all in. And they'll drop the rock. So it's a very big rock, though. 5,600 defense, I believe. Plus 35. Plus 6,000 attack. So they can't actually beat the rock with their own rock. And that is relevant when they draw a Scarlet. Yeah, so I will drop Lancia here because I need the turn. Like Barrage is keeping me in the game right now. If they could pop Barrage with like a second Conquistador, then I also lose. But no, the other thing keeping me in the game is the fact that this token is huge. It has more defense than Nibiru has attack. Even without factoring in Conquistador, it still has more attack and defense than Nibiru does. So they'll just pass. They do have some back row, so I'll draw another kaiju. I'm gonna hold on to it for basically any set cards that I think might be Guru, or stuff that actively threatens my field. So here I'll go. I will activate Barrage, target itself, blow itself up. I'm keeping the token around mostly as a wall right now. It will be relevant later, though. It will be relevant later for one of the silliest plays I've ever had to make. But yeah, I'm still trying to get to Rainbow Neos because that's my win condition at this point. I'll activate Chakanine. It does target, so I target Ram Ram. They'll flip Hakero and Scarlet and stymie that plan. But I do have an option. Verte Anaconda requires 2 effect monsters, so I cannot use the token. However, and this is actually very painful to say, I have not normal summoned yet. So, what I will do, after I banish this, and think of it, is I will tribute the token for my level 5 Artifact Lancia, because my opponent has no interaction left. And then I will use both of them to make Predaplant Verte Anaconda. Tribute summoning for Lancia to win in is definitely something I hope to never have to do twice. So then I'll activate Anaconda, send Neos Fusion, send Neos, send Rainbow Dragon. And here he is, Elemental Hero Gay Pride makes another appearance. I'll go to battle, walk over the Eldritch. I like to leave Hakero. If I wanted to, I could have just kaiju'd the Hakero and then shuffled it back, but it's not making much of a difference. I don't think my opponent has anything in the extra deck that will help them. Like, maybe Lambda, I suppose? Like, you make Lambda and then you can float with Hakero that way. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter. Then main 2, I'll activate Rainbow Neos' effect. Milling Cosmic is very unfortunate. It would have been supremely helpful in this matchup, but at this point I'm so far ahead it could not possibly matter. They're in top deck mode, all their Eldritch stuff takes a turn, all their Guru stuff takes 2 cards. The most they can do is walk over the Verte Anaconda with the rock and stop me from wiping their board. No, they'll shuffle in all the things they wanted to keep, and that's the main reason I'm playing this, is just because it wins the Eldritch matchup if you resolve that effect. You can't float if all your stuff's in the deck, fun fact. So, did what it needed to do there. Shuffled in 2 Scarlets and a Conquistador and 2 Eldritches, I believe. At least one. And my opponent draws Final Battle. That's not going to be saving them, but it will help them if they find a Guru. They'll go to battle phase. They'll walk over the Anaconda, because, you know, you can. There's no reason to not. Does keep me off of Neos fodder. Then I'll set a card and pass turn. And now I draw Lightning Storm, which is not great, not gonna lie. It does help out, but the Cosmic would have probably been better. Anyways, I don't know what this face down is at this point. I don't know its final battle. So I'll set the Lightning Storm, and then I will use Rainbow Neos' second effect to get rid of the Lightning Storm, to spin back what is final battle, but realistically could have been like an Eldritch piece. I'm just trying to keep them off the Eldritch engine a lot. Guru does have space for like Solemns, but my opponent hasn't shown any yet, so I'm fairly convinced they're in the sideboard at this point. So yes, that goes back. I walk over the rock. I'm still avoiding Hakero for this turn. If I'm destroying Hakero, I want it to be on a turn where I can activate Rainbow Neos' effect to stop it from floating. And I will pass turn. My opponent draws Sanguine. It's not the worst draw ever. Yeah, but it's not going to save them here. They're so far behind in terms of turns. They can't get anything going until my turn. Like, depending on what I drew, I could have spun it back. Or more likely, I could have waited for them to activate it. And then just kaiju'd over it and gone for Rainbow Neos. So my opponent will set, and then goes back around to my turn. I draw Whiptail, so now I get a little cheeky here. Whiptail's effect when it's under a Zoodiac is, after damage calculation, it'll banish an opponent's monster. So I can run it into the Hakero and banish it, preventing it from floating. And then I don't even have to use Rainbow Neos' effect for a turn. In addition, then, because it won't be destroyed by the defense position Hakero, I can make Zeus and get interaction on my opponent's turn, as opposed to just hoping they don't draw. I mean, Guru doesn't really have any one-card things. Maybe Hidden City, I guess. If they topped Hidden City, that would have been bad. But no, they will admit defeat. This is another game where I don't elect to change to my going first plan because it's Guru and Eldritch. They can't go second. So I don't side anything out, actually. No, that's not true. I think I did side out Skullmeister for something, but it doesn't matter. All right, here I draw Broken against the back row deck. Lightning Storm, Feather Duster, and Cosmic Cyclone. And my opponent's hand is pretty decent, honestly. It's not going to beat Lightning Storm, Feather Duster, Cosmic Cyclone, but it's something. They've got Fiendus, which is like more interaction. They've got Strike. So yeah, they'll banish 6 cards face down to activate Pot of Disparity. Gonna mill those. A lot of good ones here. They're pretty obviously gonna pick Guru because they need it to get their entire deck online, but yeah, they'll get Guru. They're gonna kind of telegraph that they have Fiendus here, because they will just normal summon Guru in face-up attack position, set 3, or set 2 and pass. Gonna hold on to a Sanguine. Unfortunately for my opponent, I drew Broken. I even got Pankratops. So, yeah. First things first, Lightning Storm. See if I can bait any negation out. They will activate Fiendus, flip down Guru. This is where Pankratops come in. It's the perfect draw in this situation, because now I can destroy Guru without flipping it face up. I mean, I could have anyway with Zeus, but now I don't even have to worry about that. I can proceed to Rainbow Neos. Yes, after... Then I'll activate Feather Duster. They will chain Sanguine in response to try and get a Golden Lord in rotation, which is fair. This shouldn't all be in the graveyard. What the heck? Well, my opponent did not shuffle in with Disparity. That is odd, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, they'll summon out Golden Lord. They'll let the Strike go because they can't strike this. Yeah, no choice there. Yeah, so now I'll summon Pankratops, activate its effect. Yeah, just tribute itself to destroy Guru here. Prevent Guru from activating. My opponent will be sad. But hey, they're playing Subterrors, so... Then I'll normal summon Thoroughblade. Pitch Ram. I now have access to Rainbow Neos. I can shuffle back in the Eldritch and the Scarlet Sanguine. Prevent any sort of shenanigans. I have the Cosmic Cyclone. You can trust Skullmeister to stop Eldritch. So I did keep it in. I guess I must not have decided anything. And my opponent rudely does not even let me get Rainbow Neos into play. They see the writing on the wall and they quit. So yeah, that's it. That's my Rainbow Neos showcase. Very good card. Definitely should be run more. Can't see my own extra deck in replay. Is cool. Definitely should be run more. Definitely probably would be run more if Dragoon didn't exist, because Dragoon is better, but it's got a lot of uses in a lot of situations. It tosses Eldritch. It helps versus VW. It has 4,500 attacks, so you can run over Dragoon if you can somehow make it to Rainbow Neos with Dragoon. It's great. Play it. All right. Bye, everyone.